Well, hello. Y'all hear me okay? Happy Spa Day. Happy Spa Day to all of you. We have opened Spa Day to the public. Woohoo! Thought it would be fun since I missed Thursday. So it was nothing serious. I had a head cold, but you know what's interesting about having a head cold? It knocks you out. I mean, I didn't even take anything. I took one NyQuil 2 days ago, but yesterday I took nothing. I got up. I don't even think I got up. I I got up and maybe used the restroom. Maybe I had a smoothie or something. I fell asleep till 1 in the afternoon, got up again, ate something, fell back asleep at till 7 p.m., got up, ate something, and then went back to sleep until the next morning till 6:30. So I think that when you have a cold or when you have anything like that, it's just a good idea to just go to sleep. Your body knows what it's doing. It wants to put all of its energy towards helping you get well. So, yeah. So great to see everybody here for Spa Day. For those people who don't know what Spa Day is, it's a fun day when we get together, members, and we help each other live the good life. We give them health tips. We offer people free readings. We hang out. It's a little different than Sundays, a little bit more personal. And of course, we appreciate everybody who's a member. Being a member is pretty awesome, and it helps me keep doing this cool stuff. Somebody said the other day, get rid of the commercials. I was like, well, then how would I pay for the new computer and the lighting? How's the lighting, by the way? I bought a new ring, and then I have another light here. And I'm going to be I purchased a new camera. That was like $600. And now I have to get a new computer. I want to learn video production, but I feel kind of lost because I don't even know where to start. And so I'm just finding my way as I go. But I thought this would be cool, and you could all hopefully see me a little bit better. I'm going to take a sip of my drink here. How did you guys all like the one card tarot quickies I've been doing? Those are kind of nice because, excuse me, I don't have to put any makeup on. You know, that's nice. The camera is on the card. I can avoid the makeup. Everything is good. Yeah. So tell me what you're up to. Tell me what you're eating. Hi, Melody Harmon. Thanks for showing up. Hi, Garbo99. Thank you for being a member. True Gail. Very nice. Oh, you're in New England. It's 72 degrees. Interesting. Hi, Marie Spow. Good to see you. Got your AC on, huh? Hi, Cardomeski. You're making your doggies a treat. Well, that sounds like you got some lucky dogs there. True Gail, hello. Nancy, the water chick. Hi. She's in New Mexico, 50 degrees. Well, that sounds not too bad if you're hiking and it's a bright day, brisk 50. That's a good hiking. That can be good hiking weather. Candescent Moon, thank you for being a member and for helping. Debbie Brady, also an extraordinary person. Debbie, could you email me at whimsyanderson@gmail.com again? I think you had some ideas to help me develop my stuff, and yeah, I could use your help. Hi, Marjorie Harrison. Great to see you. What you eating? Mother of giants. Oh, you got tall kids, huh? Debbie M., thank you for being a member. Oh, she's in Missouri. That's where my parents were born. Hello to Melody Harmon. Kel Bell, thank you so much. Jessica Bennett, hello, hello. So a lot of people have been asking me, I didn't do Claritin, I did Allegra D, 24 hours, which was way too strong. It made me feel like I was on amphetamine, so I had to chop it into fourths, and so I'm on 1/4 of an Allegra D24 hour. And when I chop it with the knife, it flies everywhere, and then I have to make sure none of it gets on the floor and my cat eats it. Yeah, I decided to open it up. Sometimes I do that. I will open things up just so that people who are not members can see what we do on the weekends. And some of you know that I went to medical school. I'm a doctor. I'm a naturopathic doctor. And so one of the things we do on the weekends is we help answer people's questions about natural medicine, what the latest science says about things like plant-based diets. I've been getting a lot of feedback from people saying that they can't be a 100% vegan, and that's okay. That's okay. You do what you can. Um, when we think about heart health, we're thinking about two things when we think about heart health. Well, we're thinking a lot of things when we think about heart health. So let's talk a little bit about heart health. And we can talk about something called metabolic syndrome. That'll be fun. Yeah. So we got heart health and um, we've got metabolic syndrome and we've got diabetes. So when we think about metabolic syndrome, which is a syndrome we see a lot of in the United States, that is somebody who could be facing coronary artery disease. It's somebody who may be experiencing hypertension, high blood pressure. They may be overweight, and they may be pre-diabetic. And that person comes to your office and they say, "Well, I can't be a vegan. I'm not willing to be a vegan." And you say, "Okay. So, what are the things we want you to eliminate from your diet that are going to help you, but you're not willing to be a vegan?" So, we want to be aware of trans fats, and those are found in the fat of animal products. So, when you are consuming animal products, you want to be aware of trans fats and you want to remove trans fats. So, wild caught salmon would be a nice choice, because that's high in omega-3s, which keeps the blood thin, also helps with inflammation. So you could, when we think about the right types of animal products for people who do eat meat, we're thinking about wild-caught salmon, we're thinking about anchovies, sardines. These are not gonna be too hard on the environment also because, they're still abundant. So they're gonna be a little bit less of an environmental, risk factor than, say, lamb, which is really, really hard to grow, the amount of land you need, for example. Now, there are some really great websites to help you as a meat eater find what's gonna be the least harmful for your body and also for the environment as well. Let me see if I can find, um, I'll find it for you. So we want to be aware of the carbon footprint, and there is a really good website. It's put out by the Environmental Working Group. There it is. Yay. And I will give you that handout. So here is a handout if you are a meat eater, if you do consume meat and dairy and you wanted to choose the things that are going to be the least harmful to the environment, but you're not able to go vegan, I hear you. check out this link I just gave you, and that's from the Environmental Working Group. And that will help you when you do your shopping. You're going to be thinking in terms of the three-pronged approach: what's best for your body, what's best for the environment, and what's best for the animals. And what we you're vegan 20 years? Yay! Well, not everybody can do that. So we want to just meet people where they're at. And when people say, "Hey, I can't digest the food," my job as a doctor is to listen to the patient and not argue with them, because I myself have those struggles. So I hear you. So let's talk about just the first one. Let's talk about dairy. So you love your dairy and you don't want to give up your dairy. And Dr. Whimsy, I got to have my dairy. Let's see if we can't get you to the low fat dairy products that are going to have a little bit less of the trans fats, or you can reduce the amount. But if you're looking at the low fat or skim mozzarella, I can never spell mozzarella, you know? All right, forgive me. I didn't spell it right. Okay, so low fat skim mozzarella, low fat yogurt, dairy, milk, etc. Just try and go with the skim or the low fat. There's been some debates that if you go with the lower fat, it's going to have a higher glycemic index. That's true, but the research still shows that it is better to go, if you are doing dairy in your diet, to go with the skim and the low fat 2% or less, and to try and have it in moderation. If you're having trouble with lactose, lactose is milk sugar that can have an impact on your digestion. Not everybody can digest it. Understand that dairy is sour because the bacteria have eaten the sugar, and so that's why it no longer retains the sweet flavor. You could also get the lactate milk. The other thing, what else? So I think we covered that. Low-fat cottage cheese, etc. These tend to be lower in lactose because of the bacteria. Now, again, not everybody can do dairy. You have to look at ancestral one of the things that I did my postdoctoral research on, because I am a medical anthropologist, is looking at people's genetics. So, for example, I'm mostly British, Welsh. Yeah, I'm a Welsh girl. My grandfather was from Wales. So, I have Welsh, I have Scottish and English ancestry. I'm also French, Hungarian Jewish on my mother's side. So they ate a lot of dairy. My father was Scottish and British, right? From Devonshire, right? So, these are people, they're not going to give up their dairy. You can take their dairy away when you take it from their cold, dead hands, right? You're not going to take, dairy is something dang important in Northern Europe. It was a main calorie source because the master of the house, right? The king, he got the meat. But we were given, most of us were serfs. We were given just a small portion of our daily allotment was goat milk, or we would milk all the animals, right? And we would take a portion for ourselves, right? So if you have that kind of ancestry, of course you're going to love dairy because you've been eating it for thousands of years. So again, just be mindful that you want to be careful about the amount of animal fat. And if you're looking at the environmental workers group, just try and buy from dairies that are more local so you're not having to ship it across the country. I'm from Oregon, so we have Tillamook down the road. The cows are right here. I can go over to the farmer's market and the farmers are right there. They'll even introduce you to their chickens and goats. I mean, um, so it's very, very fresh. But again, we're looking at trans fat and we're looking at inflammatory markers. So when we talk about inflammatory markers, we're talking about like C-reactive protein. If a person has a lot of inflammation in the body, it can sometimes be simply because they're overweight. Being overweight can cause inflammation in the body. And then, of course, the body will respond to that inflammation by raising cortisol levels. The point here is that you have to find out for yourself if dairy is inflammatory for you. Dairy contains something which is called casein, and casein is a dairy protein that can be inflammatory in some people. There's A1 and A2 forms of casein. And so some there, I believe it's called A2 milk, has the A1 casein removed and is less inflammatory. So you may want to go with the casein 2 instead of the casein 1. Okay. Now let's talk about meat a little bit more. We talked about fish products. Some fish products are not going to hurt the environment as much. For example, believe it or not, catfish is farmed and actually cleans it's actually considered good. Catfish farming is actually good for the environment. So we're finding that catfish farms are not bad for the environment. Oysters are not considered sentient because they don't have a brain or a central nervous system. They're just a stomach. Clams also are not considered sentient. Bivalves are not considered sentient, so some vegans will have bivalves. So when we think about bivalves, we think about oysters and clams. Catfish, trout, also considered low impact for the environment. And still you're still getting omega-3s. Mahi-mahi, also not bad for the environment as much as, say, swordfish. Swordfish would be high in mercury. It's also a predator fish, so it's not gonna be good for you. You don't wanna go with the large fish like tuna, for example. You wanna try and reduce the amount of tuna. It's high in mercury, and it's probably, uh, we're starting to see the numbers dwindling. So again, you're thinking in terms of healthy fish that's farmed, that's safe farming is sweetwater fish. Saltwater fish or fish that are mixed like salmon, part of the time it's salt, part of the time it's fresh. We have problems. We see problems in farming, but farming freshwater fish, actually, it doesn't apply in the same way. You look at China and the large trout. I mean, you should see the trout. They're the size of salmon that they're growing in China, and they have incredibly complicated lake systems that they've developed with worms and reeds and everything. And they've been farming in these lakes for thousands of years. So again, we don't see the same problems farming freshwater fish, trout, catfish that we do when we're trying to do something as complicated as farm salmon. And if you're looking at the sea fish, sardines and anchovies, the smaller fish are going to have less mercury in them because they've had less time to accumulate the mercury, and they're more in abundant. I think tilapia and mahi-mahi the same thing? Also, local fishing, find out what's going on in your local area, the fishermen. We have Native Americans here that have fishing rights, and so it helps the tribe. They go out, they fish, you get some of their salmon. Again, I am vegan, but I hear you. You're a good person. You don't want to hurt the environment, but you're not able to be completely vegan. Your doctor doesn't want you to. Your protein levels are too low. You can't. I hear you. I hear you. I'm with you. We're gonna fix it. We're fixing it right now. You together. We're fixing it. Okay, let's talk about chicken and poultry. I would rather people go with chicken that's been eating bugs and whatnot, preferably organic. Again, you want to remove the skin or the schmaltz, as my mother would have called it, and you can put it in a freezer and you can save it and you can boil it and render it and you can make chopped liver or something once a year. Right? My mother would save it, and then for Rosh Hashanah and Pesach, we would have the chopped liver, but you don't eat it every day. Also, if you're looking at moderation, you don't have these foods every day. On Rosh Hashanah, you have some chopped liver, right? The point is that if you are having chicken in your diet, you really want it to be lean. Boiled chicken is great because you if you boil it and then you drain the fat off and remove the fat, you're just getting the protein. Same with grilling chicken, etc. And when we talk about total caloric intake, we're talking about 20% of total caloric intake coming from the animal product in your daily diet. So we say that you have uh, a total caloric intake of 2,000 calories, then 400 kcal a day can go towards lean animal protein. And most people can do that. If you're looking at one chicken breast, lean chicken breast, skinless, it's going to run about 220 kcal. So you can have one of those a day if you're on a 2,000 kcal calorie. Plus, you'll have some extra calories left over for some low-fat dairy. If you're on 1,500 kcal, then that gives you 300 total kcal of animal protein, right? So it would just be 20% of whatever your total caloric intake is. If you're trying to lose weight, I would put a patient on, say, 1,500 kcal. If I've calculated your caloric intake needs to be 1,500 kcal a day, then I've calculated 300 kcals lean animal protein. That's great. I mean, that means you get one piece of fish a day is going to be less than 200 kcal. Um, you have a lot more freedom than you realize. Well, here's what's making people sick: fried chicken, buffalo wing. My favorite food is buffalo wings, by the way. I love buffalo wings, right? So I think if you follow those guidelines, you're going to be okay. And then you don't have to feel like a horrible person if you're not able to be 100% vegan. So I love chicken wings. Now, there are some vegan ones, but it's just not the same. Y'all know it's not the same, but it's good. But my heart and, being healthy is more important than eating a chicken wing. And if I do have what I really like is I like the buffalo sauce. Like I ordered, a vegan chicken buffalo burger from Next Burger because I thought, "What the heck, I'll try it." And it had buffalo wing sauce on it, and then it had vegan ranch on it. The bun was incredible. It was similar to the Chick-fil-A bun. I I can say objectively I did not taste a difference. Like, if I had been at a restaurant and nobody had told me and I had just been eating that burger and it literally tasted the same. So, I think there's also a psychological thing that goes into it. Yeah, so you play with it. So again, you've got, calculate if you're trying to lose weight, calculate your BMR. Does everybody know how to do that? We talked about that before. The BMR, I really like hanging out with you guys, by the way. I'm so glad I'm feeling better. I had people were saying, "You don't wanna do the Thursday show anymore." I was like, "I'm an honest person. If that was the case, I would tell you so." No, I really have cold. No, I like hanging out with you guys. This brings me joy. I have joy when I hang out with you. So, yeah, no. If I'm not here, it's because something happened. Um, Yeah, if you have rheumatoid arthritis, then usually we do pull casein because it does have the inflammatory parts to it. I put people on what's called the anti-inflammatory diet. I'll go ahead and give you that link, and it's going to give you it's going to give you the 80/20 split. Again, you don't have to be a vegan if you're not ready to be a vegan. We want you to reduce your animal products and hey, if you get there, you get there. We're going to just start you by reducing, but let me give you the anti-inflammatory PDF. You'll be all right. I got you. If you need a coach, if you need somebody to coach you, uh, I can help you with that as well. I'm pretty affordable. Take a look at this integrative link I gave you, and that'll show you the diet for an omnivore that I want you to be on. If you have rheumatoid arthritis or if you're having some kind of inflammatory, this is the one that I put my patients on. Now, again, I'm not giving you medical advice that you have to follow. This is just general information. I can't diagnose or prescribe in this, just by talking to you on YouTube, but I can give you some general ideas about the direction that doctors go in when we're dealing with rheumatoid arthritis. Since we will usually pull gluten, there has been some studies on gluten and rheumatoid arthritis and dairy, and again, trans fats. So when we're thinking about the anti-inflammatory diet, they do pull the dairy and the wheat. Those are the two biggies. Sugar, of course, can be very difficult to maneuver. Giving up sugar. I got a little bit of sugar in this. Who here has their iced tea with brown sugar? Is that like a Louisiana thing? I don't know. I went to a restaurant. They were Louisiana. It was Louisiana style, and they made us iced tea, and there was brown sugar in it. Does anybody know about that? It is now. I'm addicted to it. I'm brown sugar iced tea. Oh my god, so good. Yeah. So honey. Yeah. So vegans do not do honey because it comes from the bees. Again, if you're not willing to give up your honey, you may want to look at local beekeepers and some local beekeepers. Oh, did I spell that wrong? Some local beekeepers are unbelievably ethical. They protect their bees. They make sure their bees have only organic flowers, etc. If you are participating in honey, for example, if I go down today to the Saturday market, there's going to be local beekeepers and they treat their bees like gold, right? They want their bees happy. So that's going to be a very different product than, say, something that's been mixed with sugar water, that's cheap, that's mass produced, that might have pesticides in it, etc. Unhappy bees, bad quality honey, etc. Okay, so going back to metabolic syndrome. In metabolic syndrome, which is affecting a large percentage of the American population, we're seeing diabetes, hypertension, and coronary artery disease, standard American diet known as SAD. And that's actually what we see. We see mental illness. And there's an argument that could be made that when we are not eating a natural diet, we are not in our right minds, right? That's one of the arguments you'll see when people go on a whole foods raw cleanse, which can be very difficult. But that the mind starts to work better. People meditate and they just let their body detox. It's a good thing to do in the summer, right? Because there's all that fresh fruit and you're doing watermelon and it's too hot to eat much else. And you just let yourself take a break, a reboot. Yeah, a reboot. Usually with food addictions, I think, there are a lot of people who are recovering addicts that have gone through that and are very vocal. And I actually like what they're saying. And one of those people is Drew Barrymore. Y'all know Drew Barrymore. She's really big on good eating. And she's been very public about recovery and trying to eat in balance. And what she does and I agree with her, is she takes her favorite foods and then she just makes healthy versions. Like, she loves pasta, so she does the chickpea pasta, if you can do the chickpea pasta, or some people will do the brown rice pasta, or say you love, barbecue, so you'll do chicken instead of pork. You're always looking for did Drew Barrymore put out I think she might have even put out a cookbook, right? But the idea that I like anytime public people that are in the public are trying to, you know, fight the good fight, right? So, yeah, that's what you do. You find healthy substitutes. Um, the other thing that I would strongly recommend people do, because we don't need as much animal protein as the average American's consuming, is to just start reducing it in your family. So here's some ideas that I do with my patients. Say, for example, they want to have a spaghetti bolognese. You could do a healthy pasta, one that has a low glycemic index, and you could use turkey instead of, or if you do okay as a vegan, you could try some kind of, Beyond Beef or something like that. Or you can do a lean turkey, which is gonna have less fat. Watch how much a little olive oil, okay, but again, you wanna be mindful of calories. And, if say it calls for a pound of turkey meat, you could reduce that to, say, 50%, reduce it by 50. And right before it's done, you can add some, peas, some frozen peas. So that's one of the ways I get my patients to just reduce the amount of not that they have to give it up entirely, but that we start reducing. So kids grow up always thinking that turkey pasta with peas that's how they eat it because that's how they've always eaten it, right? And so, but what you've done is you've cut out 50%. You've reduced animal consumption by 50% by that for that meal, and they're still getting 20% total caloric intake animal products, and they're still getting a high protein diet. So that's an example of something that you can do. Chili is another one. You can mix it. Some people will mix the Beyond Beef and the regular beef so that people don't know. Or they will make chili with a little bit of beef so that people have the flavor of the beef or the turkey. I don't like beef. Uh, when I was eating meat, unless it was like the omega-3 grass-fed, grass finish, and in really small amounts. But that would be an example of something that you could hide it. Chili and spaghetti and lasagnas and these sorts of things where you're able to reduce the amount of animal product and then add a substitute with it, like a pea or black beans or something that are going to offer some protein and allow you to start not consuming quite as much animal products. So again, if we all reduce, there's a certain percentage of us that's going to succeed in being 100% vegan, but the majority of Americans will not do it. So we have to be able to speak to the 80% or the 90% and say, okay, well, let's heal your heart, give you some good nutrition, and see if we can't switch things up a little bit and pull back a little bit, pull back your animal protein by a third or a half, depending. I mean, I've had patients come in where they have to have meat with every meal. It's bacon for breakfast, burgers for lunch, steak for dinner. And they come in and their whole life changes because now they're having a morning smoothie and they're doing one vegan meal a day. So you always have to meet people where they are at. And you have to listen. If a person says, I feel like crap on a vegan diet, I can't digest this, you have to listen. When you're a patient, it should not be something political. That's the other thing. As a doctor, you don't wanna be political, you wanna listen to the patient. "Okay, let's see what we can do to get you to optimal health, and then let's also take a look at the planet, the animals." But my number one priority is to my patient's health, and that's not always politically correct. Yeah, and so the other thing is that transitioning to a vegan diet may take you years. It may take years and years of failing and try I've been trying for 12 years, failing and trying and failing and trying, and now I just I would be miserable if like in Portugal, it was like the best fish, the best cheese, the best meat. I was miserable because I don't want this. I want my morning smoothie with my peanut butter powder. You start to just you change. Your blood work changes, your cravings change, your digestion changes, but it's a very, 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 very slow process. And I'm working with people. I have dietitians and a physician's assistant, and I have lab work, and I myself am a doctor. So anytime you're doing these kinds of changes, you want to work with people that know what they're doing. And also, you have to be realistic. If you've been a meat eater your entire life, you may not be able to, and you do have rheumatoid arthritis, or you do have leaky gut. We don't assume that you can go from 0 to 60. Healing our lives is a process, right? It happens slowly over time, and we have to give ourselves grace, right? But I don't like that. I don't like, when people are, "Well, you're full of it, and yes, you can be a vegan." That's not helping, and you're not listening to the patient. If the patient tells you they feel bad, you need to hear that. If the patient is telling you they can't digest the food and they've got diarrhea for a week, you need to hear that, and if you don't hear that, you're not you're not doing justice to that person. So I do hear it. Sometimes people have too much fiber when they try to transition, and so sometimes I'll tell them, "Go ahead and have some white sourdough toast," banana sourdough toast, what we call the Bratz diet, right? Banana, applesauce, white toast. Yeah. Don't be so hard on yourself. Take it one day at a time. If you can do one vegan, meal a day, like, if it's gonna be your morning smoothie, great, you know? But the main thing is to reduce the trans fats. The big no-nos for me are trans fats, uh, full fat dairy, sugar and processed foods, and for some people who have autoimmune conditions, you have to think about gluten. Some people do fine with gluten. Um Okay, I'm getting a lot of questions, so let's go back and look at these questions. You love your yeah, my morning smoothie, I'm like totally on this a peanut butter banana kick. I do peanut butter, banana, Garden of Life, which has the easy to digest small proteins in it, the Garden of Life. I'm doing that one now. And I do some athlete greens in there. Uh, yeah, so half a banana, that's my thing. It's the PB2, is that what it's called? Peanut butter powder, PB2, I think it's called. PB2, this is my latest kick. Half a banana, Garden of Life protein, and, sometimes I put some flax in it. And then whatever milk. Oat milk is good because it contains polyphenols that'll help lower your cholesterol, good for your digestion. Other thing I would say is that by having at least 25 to 30 grams of fiber a day, you're gonna be reducing your risk for, colon cancer, which I believe is the 4th most common, cause of death in the United States. So colon cancer, we're thinking about fiber a lot, right? There's 2 types of fiber. Anybody know the 2 types of fiber? Soluble and insoluble, right? So the water-soluble fiber absorbs cholesterol and removes cholesterol from the body. The insoluble bulks up the stool and it reduces your risk for colon cancer. So flax seeds contain both soluble and insoluble, so do chia seeds, and they also contain omega-3, which has anti-inflammatory properties and helps thin the blood. So that is my morning breakfast. It is plant-based. It's about 30 grams of protein. Sometimes I'll add hemp hearts as well, which also is packed with easy to digest protein. Most people can digest a hemp heart. Okay. Yeah, this is basically spa day. We get together and people ask medical questions and we give people private readings. I think we're just about, that's all I wanted to talk. I just wanted to help people that were struggling. They can't be 100% plant-based, to just say, go with 20% total caloric intake, lean animal protein, and give yourself some grace. You'll be all right. And then see if you can't add a couple peas to the soup or whatever and play with it. But start at 20%. Lean out. I think we can all agree. We can all do that. And I think you're going to be just fine. All right. Let's see what else we got going on here. What do you use in place of milk? Well, I use oat milk. I try different types of milk. I'm not happy with any of them. I love dairy. You know, I'm never gonna be totally satisfied, alas, because there's just no replacing dairy. I love cheese. I do. Man, I mean, the French, they really I was reading in the New York Times, there was the best cheese in the world contest. They had to try all these cheeses, and I guess the Gruyere won, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh." I remember those days. I remember, buying selected cheeses and oh my god. I used to live in Europe, so I was out of control. I love Camembert, Brie. Mm. They're getting better. The vegan cheeses are getting better. I'm starting to be a little bit happier with them. Yes, Marie, it has to do with who the members are. If you join and become a member, you'll have a green sign. And if you are a moderator and you're helping out today, you have a blue. So Melissa Miller is kind enough to help out today. Debbie Brady, your dreams coach, she's been very helpful. Cartomancy Mesquite, also very helpful. Pierre Walker, of course, always here helping out. Yeah. Joanna Carson is a member, and we're very grateful, as is Rose Blue. Joanna Burgess, we see over there. So is this basically answering people's questions about how to approach it? Don't let anyone guilt trip you or make you feel bad about yourself. You're a good person. Think in terms of your health and your well-being first and foremost. What can you do that's going to improve your health? And then number two, you want to think about the environment overall. What can I do that's, not going to hurt the environment, but it's going to keep me healthy? And third, of course, we think about the animals, which is also important. That's the three-pronged tier to eating, right? We always think about our health, the health of the planet, and the health of other sentient beings. We always think about that every time we put a plate in front of us. But we don't want to make people feel bad if their ancestors were omnivores for 50K or however many thousands of years, and they're just not. It's okay. It's okay. Do what you can. Yeah, monk fruit is great. It has a very low glycemic index, and I actually have some. I just bought a big bag of it on Amazon. Yeah. Monk fruit is fine. Xylitol is fine. Not everybody can digest. It depends on if you have SIBO, bacterial overgrowth, you might have some challenges with it. I would recommend people also not eat a lot prior to bed because you want your digestion to rest. Some people will do intermittent fasting, some can't. My advice is to try not to be overfed before you go to bed. But again, play with it. Other people tell me I have to be overfed. I sleep like a rock. And then in the morning, I don't want to eat for 4 or 5 or 6 hours. Okay, if it works for you, whatever floats your boat. You know your body. You know what works. You know what doesn't. You can, Joanna. Find out what you love. And if you love burgers, see if you can't try a turkey burger. Just play with it. You'll be all right. All right. I think with the rest of the time here, we're going to open up the floor to some blitzes. I think I'm going to do the empath prayer, and then now is your time. If you have any questions you need me to look at, they can be public, they can be personal. Spa days, we do allow private readings for people because it's for the members. If you need to see me as a doctor, and you need guidance and you're feeling overwhelmed, I'm there for you. You can go to drwhimsy.com and we will schedule a telemedicine and we can build a program for you together. The other thing, if you need to see me for a private reading, you can go to tarotwithwhimsy.com and book through Booksy. The information is below the video. If you just need one quick question, you don't want to spend a ton of money, just go to Wizio. I think it's $25. Oh, thank you, Debbie. Debbie's very helpful that way. So let's pray, shall we? And then of course, personal readings priorities, of course, is going to go to members and to the moderators. All right. All right. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys, to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together, collectively, as a community, we say, Amen. Amen, everyone. Okay, please pull one card. Sure, for what? Oh, Jay. Jay would like one card. No question, just okay. Jay wants one card. Message from Spirit for Jay. Hi, Jay. You are actually entering a really exciting time in your life when your passions will be returning to you. And actually, this is a time of education and knowledge and exchange of ideas. It is very important at this time in your life to let your passions run wild, Jay. That is the message from Spirit. Specifically, they are saying that you are very passionate about knowledge, debate, exchange of ideas, and it is very important for your interpersonal relationships that you be surrounded by smart, intelligent people that want to learn and grow with you. Your card is the Five of Wands, which is about a passionate exchange of ideas with others, learning knowledge. This is a schoolroom, a classroom card. It's also a card that has to do with theater and the arts. People will often get this card if they are professional actors. And that's because the artist was painting the Merry Men. Yes, she was inspired by the Merry Men and the idea of them building a makeshift theater right before they perform a play. And a lot of people don't know that about this art piece, but yeah, they're not actually hitting each other. They're arguing passionately, like, where should we put this wall and where should we put that wall? And everybody's passionately arguing and debating and discussing, and they're creating and they're learning, and they're going to put on a play. There's also that aspect here. Theater, yes. So now, basically, you're a social person, Jay. You may have theater roots or artistic roots, and passionate exchange with others and creativity with others is your destiny, and it's a good thing. I would throw you into improv. Or at the very least, be around creative, wonderful people that are going to feed your soul, because that's basically what they're saying. Have you done any theater, local theater? With that card, I would send you off to. Oh yeah, we do. Boo, we do personal readings today, Boo. This is spa day. Hmm. So there's somebody, Boo, asking a question. I'm having trouble seeing because I got my contacts on. Pull one card for Lenore. I would love to pull a card for you, Lenore. Saturdays we have free readings for members. Yeah. I love my life. Isn't it a good life? Because I got you. See, whenever you feel like, man, I feel like I just don't know what I'm doing. Just remember that when you show up here, you make me smile. Yeah. We bring each other joy. That's our function in the world, right? We are here to bring joy to each other. We get it. We get why we're on the planet, right? Okay, Lenore. Ooh, you have a message from Spirit telling you to maybe not be so hidden away. You got a little bit of some fear going on, perhaps, Lenore. Your card lesson is the Eight of Swords. This may be a person who has possibly put themselves a little bit too closed, a little bit too restricted in your world. But here's the good news. It's very easy to let it go. Let it go. Give yourself permission to be happy. Give yourself permission to go out and take risk. If people aren't treating you right, get them out of your life. Then you don't have to be all tied up like this. Loosen the reins. Let yourself have a little freedom. Take a few risks in life. You deserve to be happy. You don't have to be afraid so much. Now is the time to go out and have some fun. This is really a card letting you know that now is the time to, to take more risk in life. I think that's the spiritual lesson there. And that card will often happen when we sometimes get into a rut, when we sometimes feel like we're afraid. I can get like that, like in the winter time when you're just like, oh, I've got so much work, and oh, I feel overwhelmed, and oh, I can't look at other people. I just want to hide under the blankets. I'll sometimes get that card. And it's a card to just kind of remind us to, not to be so afraid, and that we can let things go that are complicating our lives and give ourselves a little bit more freedom. All right, Garbo, she has a question here. Does my friend Aiden have a message for me about my writing? Oh, that sounds like a lovely question. I'm so glad I'm back online. I just knew with my stuffed nose I was going to cough and I was going to be miserable. I'm like, I don't want to subject them to that. They get it. They don't want to see me like that. You guys don't want to see me like that. So you were like, go get well, Wims. I really appreciate that. Message from Aiden to you regarding Aiden, come in. Ask permission from Spirit. Okay. Give a message for your friend. Yes, I do. Sometimes we help others when we help ourselves. And it's interesting. I was watching the Randy Rainbow. He received the award from the, what was it? Matthew Shepard Award. Sometimes when we help ourselves, we are helping others. And regarding your writing balances are wrong. That's his message to you, because you receive the Six of Pentacles. There is justice in your writing. So you must be speaking about the human condition in a way where you are driven to balance the injustices in life. One of the interesting things about the Six of Pentacles is that some people deserve mercy and some don't. You can see he holds the scale and he seeks balance. And there is some aspect to your writing where you are driven through your stories they're moral stories. They have a moral compass to them. And I don't think that somebody with this calling could write just to write. This is somebody who's called to write for the purpose of righting what is wrong through their stories. And as long as you hold on to that drive that exists inside of you, you will always have a voice, because that's your voice. That is what's driving you to write. And if you could hold on to that understanding of what compels you to write and to tell these stories, then you will always be able to create. And that's his message. It's a very interesting message. Something to think about for all of us, right? You know, you have to have a higher purpose, or it can't just all be for you. It has to be, we ask ourselves, why would somebody read this? We know what it means to us, but how am I helping the other person by creating this story, or by spending time on YouTube talking with people? Like, how am I helping them? Because ultimately, if it's just about us, why would anybody participate? And so the message she received from her friend was, you are compelled to help others through your stories. And that's why you're a good writer. I thought that was a really good message. All right, Miter Sanjita has a question. Could you tell me if I will be able to get pregnant this February when I visit my boyfriend? Oh, that's a beautiful question. That is a wonderful question. Miter is wanting to make a baby. We have to send another angel coming down. We have to send good energy, because she would be a wonderful mommy. So we have to send good energy. All right. Yes. Mm-hmm. Go for it. I like this card for you, because Fool takes a leap of faith and begins a journey. And there's a kind of faith that's happening there as well. I just pulled a couple more. Yeah. Here's your baby. 10 of Pentacles is the legacy card. What I love about this card, you ever taken a look at how the artist depicts this? You have the old guy hiding and he's spying. That's because there's negative aspects to this, like family secrets, etc. But you see the little child behind the woman's dress? That is the child waiting to be born, and the dress is acting as a veil between this world and the next. Is that not the coolest thing? So the baby is there and it's trying to come through. So yeah, might need a little help. The scholar is there, but yeah, I'm seeing a baby. Cool on you. All right. I'm writing a book. Will it be successful? Ooh, got a lot. We have so many writers. Mother of Giants. Okay. Will you be successful? Well, I want you to be successful. Oops. Got my cards all messed up here. Isn't this fun? I've been doing this since I'm 12, and I just love it. I can't stop. My sister and I, we had a weekend together. We got into a hotel, and she's the most skeptical person. I love my sister, but she's just like, "Oh, I'm so skeptical." I'm like, "Too bad, because I brought my tarot cards." 5 seconds later, she's like, "Oh, this." We spent the whole entire evening doing blitzes. It was very funny. It's like, "I thought you said you were skeptical." "Well, yeah, but you offered me free readings." She loved it. Absolutely loved it. All right. Information about Mother of Giants, her book that's coming up. Oh, you got stage fright? Well, you need to be part of an ensemble. You're like David Schwimmer from Friends. He also has stage fright. You know, he doesn't want to be up there by himself. The only reason David Schwimmer agreed to do Friends was because they said it was an ensemble cast. Because he's a humble actor. He didn't want to be, oh, you go be in the front, right? David Schwimmer always enjoyed propping up the other people and being part of it. He didn't want to be the star, right? So David Schwimmer, when he agreed to do Friends, they said, "No, do it. It's an ensemble. You mean I won't have to be out there by myself?" So stage fright's not necessarily bad, Jay. It could just be you need to be 5 of Wands as an ensemble. Wow, Mother of Giants. I don't know what you're writing, but this is a very romantic card about true love and romance and human redemption through love and ooh la la. I don't know what you're writing, but dang girl, you do very well in the romantic genre and subjects about true love and romance. Woohoo! It's very hot and steamy. The sacred contract. Hubba hubba. I don't know what you're writing, but they're saying you do very, very well in stories of love and romance. All right, we're going to do one for Kay, my beautiful friend Kay. By the way, I hope you're feeling better. If you want to go out and get lunch with me sometime, I miss you. It's my girl. Kay's my girl. I miss her. I haven't seen you in months. Ooh, they say that you're getting very strong. I see your muscles getting strong. I see this burning energy coming up inside of you. It's like your body went through this difficulty for a couple of years, and now you're coming out the other side of it. And I see heat and energy and excitement. And I don't think you're meant to be a plant-based, by the way, because they say you do well with protein and heat. And this is Aries and a new beginning and aggression, and it's like a young boy. And so they're saying actually for your future, Kay, you're coming into a time of power and energy and passion. And protein. Like it's actually a very good sign for you. They say the best thing for you to be doing for your health is physical movement, hiking, and also oxygen, high amounts of oxygen coming into your body when you this is like the pioneer who's moving, and Aries and heat and fire and passion and new beginnings. As you come into your health and your power, so will your passion for life again. And it's the time of spring. So, boy, you're really going to take off this spring, girlfriend. I mean, are you doing a road trip? Is that when you're planning that trip? I know you're planning that trip to. I'm working on my Spanish too, by the way. She and I were talking about maybe going to Colombia or something. So we should talk about that. But yeah, your new adventures, honey. Dang, that's a great card for you. Because I know you were worried about things like health and energy, but don't worry about it with that. That is a power card. Me too. Candescent Moon. Do you mean you too want a reading? Okay. Candescent Moon. One card for Candescent Moon. What does Spirit have to say to Candescent Moon? Hi, Candescent Moon. They say that you are on the verge of having many of your wishes coming true. Your wish has been granted. It's also saying that you're headed towards a really positive period in your life for the next 3 months. You're actually on an upward trajectory over the next 3 months. You have the Three of Wands, which, as you know, is the good luck card. Your ship is coming in. You will get what you want out of life. Now, I also read wands literally as month cards. So it would be an indication that you're headed in a very positive direction over the next 3 months, getting what you want out of life. So it's a 3-month period. It's a good luck card, and your ship is coming in. Cards are excellent. In fact, that's considered one of the most positive cards in the card chart. So whatever you're working on, you're moving towards tremendous success over the next 3 months. Okay, I think I'm going to do one more. And I think that'll be it. Probably not, Joanna Carlson, but I'm going to give you a reading and then we're going to close it off. Okay, final message for Joanna from Spirit. Y'all have fun. Message from Joanna. Oh, Joanna. What was her question? Oh, Joanna, now is the time for you to really work on your healing and your meditation practice. It's all about health and healing for you. Just put all your attention into you, your health, your well-being. Archangel Raphael comes to you. You do you right now. You don't have to worry about what other people are up to. You don't have to. Now is the time for you to be selfish and focus on you. That's what they're saying. This is a time of tremendous healing and growth for you, spiritually and emotionally and physically. And everybody else can take a back seat. All right, I think we have a couple more questions. Oh, you guys, I'm having trouble reading with my contacts on. Unfortunately, I think the time has come to an end. But if you come back next week when it's private and it's not public, I'll be able to get to all the members probably. All right. Thank you, everybody, so much. Debbie, you're the bomb. If you could email me again, I wanted to speak with you. I need some help. I have no idea what I'm doing on this channel. I need help. By the way, people were saying, is it Herschel Walker that's going to win or Raphael Warnock? And I kept getting tongue-tied. Walker, Warnock, Walker. And then I would mean to say Warnock and I would say Walker. No, Raphael Warnock is going to be reelected to the Senate. Raphael Warnock will be reelected. Herschel Walker will not go to the Senate. That's what I meant to say. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of the day. Awesome questions. I'll see you tomorrow for our regular, what did we call that? Sunday brunch with the Oracle of Whimsy. It'll be a blast. Yeah. Vote, everybody. Make sure to get your vote out. All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you.